This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. 3-hour program lined up today. A lot of fun, a lot of action. Richie Bacchillieri, longtime Vegas odds maker here at Circa Sports, in studio talking college football in 30 minutes. Best bets in that sport with Paul Stone coming up at 90. Derek Stevens in studio. Back end of the program, a lot of NFL, college football. We'll touch on Major League Baseball throughout the program as well. We'll hit what happened last night. Crazy game, Monday Night Football, but we do have some breaking news in the National Football League. The NFL is fining Eagles defensive tackle Jaylen Carter more than $57,000 for spitting on Dak Prescott. And the league says the game that he was ejected for will serve as a one-game suspension. So he has decided not to appeal and focus on the Chiefs game. So because he missed it the entire game, the opener last Thursday, they're going to say that's the suspension. We're not going to give you any additional time off. But here's a $57,222 fine. Where's Dak's fine?
Yeah.
That coming anytime soon?
I know, you'd say that.
Well, I mean,
I know.
Look, the very first tweet.
I spit all the time, he says.
Yeah, sure, 1,000 times a game.
Uh-huh.
But the very first tweet under Adam Schefter's breaking news 4 minutes ago is that slow motion video of Dak Prescott between his two offensive linemen. I mean, my first reaction was, Dak, you're Woody Woodpecker here, Paulie, as you like to say. He was the instigator.
Yeah.
He spits down. I don't care what he's saying. He was lying his ass off after the game in that 2-minute interview, and I don't even know why he talked about it. But he spit directly at him, and then he looks up, and he gives him a head nod, and then he gets like the blank eating grin on his face from ear to ear right at Carter.
Yeah. I think the fine's excessive. I mean, the Florida defensive tackle apologized yesterday, and he's got to live with the fact that he cost him the game. He was ejected, and he drew the 15-yard penalty that set up the game-winning 20-yard field goal. So maybe they go on to kick a field goal anyways. But he had a good quote about sportsmanship. I crossed the line. He apologized to South Florida, everyone. But that's we're on quite the run here after what we're doing with the spitting. So I thought the Alomar thing was just a one-time deal.
Yeah, evidently not.
This happened, but right. But yeah, sure. Certainly it was stupid, and he missed the whole game anyways, and was a huge loss for the Eagles.
Sure it was. Dak knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So are we going to remember last night's game as the J.J. McCarthy game?
No.
Like in a couple of years?
No, the Santos game. Santos killed him.
We're not going to remember this as the Santos game.
Yes.
No, we are not.
Oh, a guy had 150 yards, so we're going to put him in Canton? He's just about the first three quarters. Hell of a finish.
No, I know that. I understand that. But how he actually got better. And then this Vikings coaching staff is elite. I would take him over any other coaching staff in the entire league. Yeah, I said it. And they
let's win a playoff game first.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. Once they got cooking, it was curtains for the Bears. So a lot happened last night. And boy, oh boy, the old takes or cold takes exposed, whatever that's called, on Twitter, going to have a field day.
Yeah.
Because people could not wait. They were pushing each other out of line last night to already bury J.J. McCarthy and put him 6 feet under.
What was that all about? Yeah, they were lined up and ready to go and hit send in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
And then the pick six was atrocious, but from all the pomp and circumstance and the fans so excited and Ben Johnson, the favorite to win Coach of the Year, to being booed off the field. And they blow the 17-6 lead, and the Vikings score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they lose. Damn, the Bears cannot get out of their own way. And what happens? Santos misses one, and then he can't kick it through the end zone, and he's told to kick it through the end zone. They probably don't get a stop anyways, or have enough time left, rather. But,
you never know. You can get PI, whatever. We're going to hear from Ben Johnson coming up in a minute.
It was total domination. And then they lose the game. The Vikings were like 7-8 to 1 in play. And all of a sudden, guys wide open. Mason's getting chunks. Jefferson's eating the beautiful pass to Jones. But a play here and a play there, and they should have had a comfortable win. You turn down points. They pass on the field goal. Williams has the guy open. He misses him. He misses the field goal. A ridiculous PI call? Turn around. It's a running back. What are you doing?
I don't know if the Vikings win the game last night if that PI is not called.
You think so?
Terrible PI call.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Can't do that. And also, one of their offensive linemen got called. I mean, he basically whiffed on the defensive end, I think it was, and they called it a holding. That was horrible.
Yeah.
So the Bears, they had a zillion penalties last night and for a ton of yards, so they kind of killed themselves. But those two calls were absolutely massive. And I got one for you. What if, and again, that whole sequence at the very end was just brilliant, I thought. And Ben Johnson knew what he was doing. He told him to kick it out of the end zone. He couldn't. And then when you saw the slow motion of, was it Chandler looking over at the coaching staff? And then KOC goes like this. Come on, buddy. Bring it out. 2-minute warning.
Had to.
I thought that was so good, and he wanted to confirm because he was like 8 yards deep. But let's say for a second here, he pauses for like another split second. And by the way, the Vikings special teams last night were outstanding. If the Bears are down there a little bit quicker and they get them like at the 15-yard line, did you think about this? I think there's a real chance where Kevin O'Connell has J.J. McCarthy run around on one of those final plays to burn time and then take a safety, and the game could land on one.
Okay.
I think that could have happened.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, my God, that landing spot.
It was a good conversation. It was an interesting discussion in play. Could you go onside? Could you kick it out of bounds? Could you do like the kick it as hard as you can to one of the corners so he doesn't feel that it goes through the end zone without any time coming off? You know, we just saw this on Sunday night. I've been watching football for 45 years. I didn't know that we've never had the 1-point play ever. If Hamilton, if they take the knee or he gets tackled, that's 1 point
right
for the Bills. But that was an interesting discussion, and I thought Aikman was all over it. But that's a bad job by Santos and a killer. And it just there was some encouraging stuff. I trust Aikman on this. He pointed it out several times. I don't have access to the all 22. Apparently the guys are open, and Williams won't take shots down the field. I mean, the guy, it's checking it down and not making the big throws, whatever. I also think the kid has to be more grounded. You saw a lot of penalties. I don't care for his interview before the game. Well, don't. I'll be Superman when I have to be Superman, or something along the lines of that. After what he said last year to the punter about, well, you're not going to see much time. I mean, okay, you won 5 games, but it's going to take time with the penalties. You saw the pre-snap stuff, but it was encouraging. They did something they hadn't done all of last year. They go right down the field and score. They scored 24 points against what might be the best defense in the league. They lost a tough game, but the Vikings are better and they have a better roster. But there's a lot of things to fix and clean up, and I think the expectation should be high with the Bears. And I know the fans let them have it, and rightfully so. You can't lose that game. But there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. But the takeaway is what McCarthy did in the fourth quarter, and it looks like the Vikings are in good hands.
Caleb Williams was really good, scripted early on. After that, I thought he was kind of stinking up the joint. And I'll say this after one game, I'll take J.J. McCarthy over Caleb Williams already.
Oh, no.
Oh, no question.
Oh,
Paul, did you
God.
watch the fourth quarter, how athletic this guy is? He's got an absolute cannon for an arm.
Williams is too. Keeps a lot of plays alive.
Give me KOC and J.J. McCarthy all day, every day over Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And in fact, one game in, I was already kind of strong on this before the season. This division comes down to 2 teams, Green Bay and Minnesota. It's going to go down to those 2 teams, and that's it. I'm so strong on that already.
I thought that was interesting that Ben Johnson goes for it immediately, 4th and 3, and passes on the field goal. So maybe it was Johnson all this time with the onions, telling Campbell what to do. I don't know. Maybe Campbell gets found out and exposed here in a couple weeks. That's a great game on Sunday now with Johnson going back to Detroit. But I think the future's bright, and they look good, and it looked like a complete outfit from top to bottom, and it's too bad the defense let them down also in the fourth quarter. 24 points at home, you're supposed to win that game.
Well, the defense was great for 3 quarters. Where was the offense after the first quarter?
Yeah.
So here's Ben Johnson on that final kickoff, and there was a back and forth here. They thought about everything. Here he is to the media after the game.
Were you hoping that kick was going to go out of the end zone?
Yeah, the intent was for the ball to go out of the end zone.
And was there, do you guys consider onside kick? I mean, how did that?
Yeah, it did. We felt like if we had kicked it out of the end zone and gotten the 3 and out that we would get the ball back with around 56 seconds.
So they thought about everything.
Damn.
I don't know if I'd have Santos on my roster after that.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Can't kick it out of the end zone, pal?
Yeah.
Got to do one thing? Come on.
I got you. I hear you. That's fair. That's a bad job. He was a big reason they lost the game. And I like that we're not a lot of patience here. Moody, cut. Cool. We're bringing in competition. Can't lose games like this. Can't miss kicks.
Another question, by the way, that I have for Ben Johnson. They burned timeout number 2 to talk about a 3rd down and 1 by the Vikings. Horrible timeout right there. They could have used that late. That would have been a big one to have in pocket. So no reason to take that timeout whatsoever. And I know I had one. The McCarthy prop went over the rushing yards. That beautiful play to get him into the end zone was just exquisite.
Yeah.
And I bet Jordan Mason didn't score last night, never really had a chance, but touchdowns are coming, rest assured, for him. Here's the reason why. He had 15 of the 23 rushing attempts by Minnesota last night, 100% snap rate in the red zone, 57% snap rate versus 47 for Aaron Jones, and 42 of his 45 yards gained after initial contact. There's a clear difference here, and he's going to have to be like the workhorse guy. And that's going to, obviously, like he's going to score. Charchin was right about this. That guy's going to score. I don't know what the number is, but he's going to score a bunch of touchdowns this year.
All right. I respect your opinion, but be careful. Because we went crazy with Mac Jones a couple years ago, too. The kid looks to be the real deal. But I think we want to say these guys are going to be awesome
I'm
right
still
away.
waiting to watch it. I'm still waiting to see it from Caleb Williams. Still waiting.
Well, what grade would you give him?
A C minus?
Yesterday, yeah?
Overall.
Okay.
Last year to right now,
well,
C minus or D plus?
He struggled last year, but I thought the coaching staff was horrendous. I think he's going to have a good year and could be a good player, but also that's something.
You also have to realize, Paulie, that it was going to take a minute for JJ to get going. First ever game.
Fair. Yeah, sure. But Aikman can see the whole field. I can't. So if he's saying he's missing throws and guys are there, that's something he's got to fix and correct.
College football next. Point spread keeps dropping like a rock, and you can see why the market has been moving in the home team's direction. We'll tell you which one coming up here on Follow the Money.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's college football tailgate show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the football contest show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Paulie on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next, a numbers game. It is the yin and the yang of Sharp and Wishnev. Warren Sharp on his favorite play or plays of NFL week number 2. And then Todd Wishnev sort of counterbalanced the seriousness of Warren with his unique takes on things. Week 2 in the National Football League. Will Hill with all of his best bets across the sports betting landscape, including some baseball. And speaking of full-day baseball, Greg Hopes Peterson with all of his baseball plays, and Nick Whalen as well on the NFL. Back to football. It's a numbers game. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
One more thing here on our Bears-Vikings conversation from last night. I retweeted this during the break from Scott Barrett. Caleb Williams with the accuracy issues. Among all 32 quarterbacks in Week 1, he ranked worst in off-target throw rate, 29% of the time. Third worst in completion percentage over expectation, -8%. Fourth worst in accurate throw rate, 46%. And he also threw in most hospital balls thrown, 4.
Very good.
Thought DJ Moore got killed last night.
Yep. He ad-libs too much, and he has accuracy issues. That is fair. And that's but we'll see if Johnson can fix them and improve. But again, they should have won that game and see how they do against the Lions. Minnesota standpoint, they have 11 games this year against teams that made the playoffs. So there's a lot of tough games coming up, and that's a good one Sunday night at home against Atlanta.
All right, on to Week 3 college football. The game I was talking about before the break, the spread, it's been dropping pretty much the entire week so far. Clemson at Georgia Tech. Clemson opened as high as 6.5 for this game. That would have been, I did not see that number. That would have been an auto play on Georgia Tech for me. I'm not saying that because the market moved. It's because this Clemson team might have some serious issues at this point. Now, basically, we're seeing 3.5. VSiN.com, Adam Burke sends out his reactions to the weekend and how he moves teams based on box scores and then bets that he wants to make the upcoming week as a result. He dinged Clemson 4 more points this week. And why not? He actually makes Clemson -5.5 in this game. But I looked at the overall key numbers in their win over Troy. Troy had a -0.17 EPA per play. Clemson wasn't much better at -0.1. Troy had a 39% success rate, Clemson 45%. And EPA per rush, Clemson, -0.3. That's in the 9th percentile in the country. Each team had 4 explosive plays. Clemson had a -4.66 overall EPA on early downs. Late down EPA was much better, but still at -0.05 per play. If they're going to be struggling, and I know their best wide receiver has been injured, but if they're going to be struggling in early down situations, as the competition gets a little bit better than Troy, they are going to lose these games outright. Forget about the points. And if that's going to be a problem against Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets are going to win this game.
Yep. King didn't play in the last game. The status, the key said yesterday, looks good, feels good. We'll make a determination this week. Mm-hmm. So that line will jump up, though, big time if he's unable to go. But I would just say I would expect him to play for Georgia Tech on Saturday.
Did you take any Tech early in the week?
No.
Neither did I. I missed that one.
I got to see what happens with him, too, because he means so much to him. He was phenomenal. And he's like Fields. You got to get his rushing props over every game as well after he was so good against Colorado. And the other one, too, is I think Alabama will bury Wisconsin if the quarterback doesn't play. And that's not saying much of the Wisconsin offense anyways, which struggled against Miami of Ohio and then the Middle Tennessee game. But I just it appears DeBoer, when he has a chance to run it up, he will. And that's what certainly he did last week against Louisiana Monroe, and he's done it time and time again. He could do that here against the Badgers.
Well, what do you make of the total at 46 overall, though? Because, I mean, the points are going to be tough to come by for Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. But also when you flip it, adjusted net EPA per play, Wisconsin is second in the country behind USC. That factors in home field advantage, quality of opponent, and garbage time. The Badgers are tied for second in the country with Texas at -0.3 adjusted EPA per play on defense. So their defense, I think, is going to be a problem for a lot of teams. This is Alabama we're talking about now, not Middle Tennessee State. But, I mean, this could be like 27-10 Bama and get out of there with a win. I don't think Wisconsin's going to do much at all, and their defense appears to be a really good unit.
Well, 2 bad opponents, though. I think it's a different ballgame. Maybe Bama gets a total by themselves if Wisconsin's turning it over. Yeah.
Wisconsin will also try to take time off the clock on their drives. Not that they'll be able to sustain long drives against Alabama, but they're slow. They're methodical with that. I'm pondering an under on that. But you know what I'd do? Maybe Wisconsin team total under.
I could see that.
In this spot.
Yeah.
You bet Georgia right away.
The Tennessee love won't stop.
Yeah.
I agree with Felica. This dog has fleas. Open 7, nothing but Tennessee nonstop down to 3.5. Tennessee's look great. But your Georgia takeaway is who's Georgia played. They beat Marshall and they beat Austin Peay.
Right.
but I'm just going to trust Georgia here, and then you got concerns with this secondary and a couple guys out for Tennessee.
Should we be concerned for Georgia that they had 0 explosive plays against Austin Peay?
Yeah, that's alarming.
Maybe a little bit?
Yeah, but I think they can move the ball against Tennessee, and also it reeks of a public dog. I think the public's going to be all over Tennessee here in this game Saturday.
South Florida.
Same one here, yeah.
Okay. Miami to a 17.5 point favorite at home against the Bulls of South Florida. Again, VSiN.com. Adam Burke raised the Bulls 4 points after the Florida win. He also raised Miami 3 points. The Bulls overall, man, and now it's 18 here at Circa, dominated Boise State. Florida, I think, has a pretty good roster. They won that game outright. They are 13th overall in adjusted EPA per play. Consider that competition. That's crazy. And the Hurricanes, though, have been a machine so far.
It's a horrible spot. This is a horrific spot for South Florida. After you're 17-point dog, you win the game in the Swamp, and now you got to go to Miami. And Miami was coming off Bethune-Cookman. So it's a lot of points, but it's a lot of points for a reason. But if they hang, it's okay because of those 2 monster wins already. Charlotte, North Texas, Florida Atlantic, Memphis. Not they're going to run the table, but San Antonio, Navy, UAB, and Rice after that. I guess if you can go into the Swamp and win, you should be able to beat Memphis on the road and Navy. But they're going to have a great case if they're 11-2 or something like that. And if your one loss is at Miami and you lose at Memphis or maybe at Navy or something like that. So they're going to have a great case here for the playoff if they can keep this going. But this is just a horrific spot, and that's bad scheduling. Come on with the schedule. Who puts that schedule together?
So what if, what's going to happen to the numbers for South Florida, to win their conference? I know this is a non-conference game, but it'll be like a power rating move, or for them to make the playoffs, even if they don't win this game, Paul. But let's say it's a tie game, or Miami leads by 1 score, or in that neighborhood, 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I mean, you want to talk about raising a power rating to the moon for a team like South Florida at that point with their competition. And they would probably, I think I saw plus 350 to make the playoffs today. They were 15-1 before the Florida game. They might turn into odds on at that point. And I want to ask this question about the Florida LSU game. LSU now on the screen about 8.5, maybe a 9-point favorite in this game. Again, it's very early, but on Florida's side, what if South Florida is really good and they turn out to be that Group of 5 playoff team? And how about this for LSU? What if Clemson's kind of trashy? What do we say about that win in a month if Clemson the box scores don't lie and they have, a couple losses all of a sudden? The luster's going to be off.
Could happen. I know. Very disappointing. Georgia's also beat Tennessee 8 games in a row. That's another reason I like them. See, we got some body clock games, too.
Oh, we got plenty of those,
We got Oregon at Northwestern laying 4 touchdowns. Early start for the 9 a.m. start for the Ducks. Minnesota's at Cal. 9:30 Minnesota's kickoff. And Boston College is at Stanford. 10:30 kickoff for Boston College.
And
it gets worse later in the season. Utah's playing a 10 a.m. local kick game?
Right. And Michigan State, they play, at USC, and I think that's at 11 o'clock Eastern start time?
Yes, it is. Yes.
That's a good one.
That's another one.
Let me give you one more game. There's going to be a lot of numbers on this game, but it makes sense because they have a common opponent. Vandy's playing at South Carolina. This point spread still all over the map. 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6 out there for South Carolina. The Gamecocks beat Vodtech 24-11. Vandy killed them 44-20 last week. They had 10 explosive plays out of 59 total, 6 in the air, 4 on the ground. Vodtech had 2 against them and an overall EPA of negative 5.93 without those plays. Vandy had an EPA per play of plus 0.38 on early downs against the Hokies and 17.42 overall. On the flip side, Vodtech averaged negative 0.13 EPA per play on early downs, negative 5.81 overall. South Carolina's numbers against Vodtech, they had 6 explosive plays compared to 10 for Vanderbilt. The EPA without the explosive plays for South Carolina, negative 17.42 overall and minus 0.35 per play. Are we sure that this is the right number here in the South Carolina game? Vanderbilt smoked Vodtech. South Carolina struggled mightily against them.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Yeah. You're going to see some strange stuff happen early on. You know, there's always a dog, a bad team that's in the preseason top 10. The Florida State debacle last year. Yeah. There's going to be some surprises. And then again, those are good numbers, but a lot of time that blows up in your face. And maybe the better team is South Carolina. Patrick O'Connell is this week's Average Joe contest winner because he already had an edge boost account. His $500 prize doubled to $1,000, and he wasn't the only hot hand. 6 contestants win a perfect 7-0, and 4 of them are VSiN Pro subscribers, free to enter. And every week you're going to win cash prizes and the quarterly prizes like a trip to Vegas and a stay at Circa. Enter anytime this season, vsin.com/Joe. Good job, Patrick.
College football with Richie Bacchillieri next.
There's no better time to join VSiN Pro. Right now, get started for just $9.99 for your first 30 days or save 50% off with an annual subscription. As a Pro user, you'll get our newly updated NFL betting guide, as well as the college football betting guide, the ultimate playbook packed with expert picks, team previews, and best bets. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive features like real-time betting splits, daily best bets, and full access to the VSiN Watch app. Don't miss out. Head to vsin.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network. Get your edge this season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at vsin.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We'll continue talking college football here. Richie Bacchillieri joins us here on the desk in studio, live, Circa Sports, longtime Las Vegas odds maker. Good to see you. Stevie the Pencil, how are you?
Guys, great to be here with you. My two favorite degenerates.
Good to see you, buddy.
I
got the Rover coming in today. Physical Graffiti, your favorite album.
50 years. I went to go see Bonham do the 50 years down in one of the casinos. Great show.
Yeah.
Let's start.
Nice toothpick.
What is this? The toothpick?
UL Washington. You guys are too young to remember UL.
Well, yes.
Okay, let's start with this. We just talked about the upcoming game between South Carolina and Vanderbilt, right? And how they each have a common opponent. So I find this to be intriguing, Richie, right? It's early on in the season, only week 3, and they each play the same team. Vanderbilt last week absolutely destroyed Vatech. On the flip side, in week 1, South Carolina was up against it. Right? And Vatech gave them a run for their money there. They eventually covered in that game. This opened up, 7? Now down to like as low as 4.5. What do you make of all of it?
Yeah, well, I don't look at the outcomes of those games, but what I do look at is the line movement. And, South Carolina opened about 9, down to 7 against Virginia Tech. So it was definitely money against the Hokies. Then you look at the next game, Virginia Tech comes pick against Vandy. So now we're looking at Vandy being, 2-3 points better on a neutral field. So that alone tells me that the game's got to be less than 7. I don't know how it opened 7. I took 7. I made it 4. Probably is somewhere in the middle. I think it's been all dog money, so there's people are following that recipe of, playing a game against the lines. But outcomes don't matter.
Mm-hmm. We do this a lot in college basketball.
Yeah.
This team won by 30 at home, and then they beat them on the road by 10. Why is the game only 2 in a conference tournament?
Yeah, well, I like to compare the teams with the common opponents and the prices. And, of course, over time, the ratings are going to change over time. But if you're talking about a short window, then you can definitely take the two lines and compare and make a price from there and see what's posted.
Well, okay, but how much have you dinged Clemson through 2 games?
Say again?
You must have lowered Clemson at least a couple of points by now.
Clemson, they still got a football team. Who they beat? Troy mothers of whatever they're called. I lowered Clemson 3 points since the start. I've had some people tell me before the season that Klubnik kid ain't all that great. I don't know if it's in the locker room or not, but it's showing. I mean, he's not really playing all that great.
Right.
Good to have friends.
Yeah. We do a better coaching job, too, I'll tell you that. How about Georgia open 7? All nothing but Tennessee, money down to 3.5.
Yeah, well, when you score 28 against Austin Peay, it figures in the first week against Marshall, who's looking like a real dog.
Right.
They didn't cover that number either. I think they got backdoored, but, they put up 40. They're supposed to put up 70. Look at some of these games last week. The power team scored, 60 to 75 points. Georgia's offense might be the problem. I think the defense is going to be intact as always, but I made that game lower too. I think I made Georgia 3, and I thought that was high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I made Georgia 3, and I thought that was a little high.
Now we're talking. All right. So what do you do in terms of body clock games? Like Oregon is playing at 9 in the morning against Northwestern. BC's playing 10:30 at Stanford.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good angle. I mean, heading east is typically the problem more than the west. I wouldn't see BC having any problems playing at 7:30 Pacific time, but Oregon's got to play with the early game. Yeah. What time is that game?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Vegas.
Yeah.
9 a.m. Vegas. So they play in, early game, heading east. It's a go against. I think I bet against it. Is that Northwestern?
28, yep.
Yeah, I took 28 or 28.5 there. I made that lower.
Well, then how much did they put in that game against Oklahoma State? Because Gundy's calling out Oregon and Dan Lanning, and you could tell that he was on a mission to bury him in that spot.
They're probably pretty bad, Oak State. I think that's really the end. That's the end of story for that game. They're bad, and Oregon wanted to put up a big number.
Okay, what have you done with South Florida? What a resume so far. Great numbers. Of course, beating Florida at the gun basically last week on the road, but also really taking it to Boise in week 1. And now here you go, their third really stiff test of the year at Miami this weekend.
Yeah, I've got the game 14. I had the game last week 12 at Florida. So now I got a 14 against Miami, or Miami 14. And I see it's up to 17.5 now.
18, some spots,
18. Yeah. I've raised South Florida to 4 points, which is a pretty good a pretty good upgrade after 2 games. But they had 2 great games. I mean, they beat the crap out of Boise, and Florida played obviously. They kept the game low scoring, and they got there. So I could take 18. I probably will.
You take 18?
I think when I was looking at the games on Sunday, it opened lower. It opened like 15.5 or 16 or something.
Yep.
And I had a feeling it would go up. I mean, surprisingly, it wasn't a whole lot of Florida money against them, on last weekend. So I think it was mixed. A lot of split opinions. These sharp guys, they can have split opinions.
Sure, of course.
So games like that, they definitely split there. Miami was. I took Beth Cook, 58.5 or so against Miami. Just looked like a dead spot. Dead spots are.
Sandwich game. Yeah.
Well, they come off that game. He's the greatest quarterback to ever play, that Beck kid, right? Yeah. And they got best Cookman, and he played a half. And they coasted. Dog was never in trouble. Loved the FCS. Loved the trash.
Well,
the trash.
Same thing with LSU, right? Off that big win in week 1 against Clemson.
Tech took 37.5. Never a sweat. Matter of fact, that's a game I need to look at. Why? What happened to LSU? I mean, geez. So
does Florida bounce back? Or is maybe, like Mitch said, Clemson's not that good, and LSU, nice job. But
made it 8.5.
Okay.
And typically when you got 120 games you got to do, when you make a game where it's at, you kind of forget about it till the weekend. You just nothing, like, you can't look at all these games.
Yeah,
so.
Unless the number goes crazy, you're not even going to.
Exactly. You just can't spend the time doing it.
Okay, so A&M right now catching 7 at Notre Dame. Do we know the status here of Marcel Reed? Are things looking up for him, the quarterback?
Probable.
Probable?
That's what I heard.
His dad's saying like he's going to play.
His dad? How about his mom? What did mom say?
I looked it up today, and they're like, the dad said he's going to be good to go.
I love you with all of my heart.
So if he goes...
I'm going to cry.
Do you think the Aggies here are a live dog?
I took 7.
You did?
I took 7. I made that game lower, too. I can't remember offhand, but I made that game lower.
What are your biggest differences this week?
Well, starting with Friday, I got a couple of big differences. I noticed some split opinions on the Houston game. That's been going back and forth between 4 and 6. I laid 4. I made the game 11.
Oh, wow.
Well, look at Houston, a couple of games. I mean, I don't think, they beat Rice. The game was a little closer. I did have Rice, so I had Houston lower against Rice, yet I still got it this high in this spot. I think their first game, can't remember who they played in their first game, but I think they covered that as well. The defense, it was a shutout, but I think the defense is going to be there for them. I'll lay 4 all day.
All day.
Okay. But you don't know. Once again, we talked about games being phonied up and moving numbers around, and this thing went 6-4, I think twice already. So there's nobody. Look, if you want to bet big money on these games, you ain't doing it on Monday.
Sure.
I mean, so you're maneuvering, you're trying to set a number up. I got to think laying 4 is a good side, but I've heard there's fake money on the favorite, so I don't know. I think it's a split opinion.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my arch nemesis, what's his name? Paul Stone.
Paul Stone coming up in an hour.
Little birdie told me he might like the dog. See, I get around. I say, who's that guy like? He says he likes the dog.
Good job.
So I think it's going to be another game. It's split.
How about K-State favored at Arizona? You should have lost to North Dakota, and then you lose to Army?
You must be looking at my sheets. I made Arizona 5.
Wow.
So I took a point, and I know that it pretty much Sunday night, it swung down to, I think Chris had 1.5 on Sunday night, and it settled in at 1. Is it still 1?
Yeah.
I haven't got a screen like you got. You got the fancy screen. You see all the lines.
I'm seeing multiple 1.5s out there here in Las Vegas.
1.5 on
right
Arizona.
Now.
Yeah, I can only go up. I don't know.
No,
K-State favorite.
K-State's favorite.
So they moved it back to. Oh, they moved it back to K-State now. Oh, so I got a bad number is what you're telling me. Thanks a lot.
It's all right. As long as it doesn't come 1, fine.
Well, that's all right. I seem to win more bets on bad numbers than good numbers.
Yeah.
You get the best of the numbers, and that's great. Except if it don't win, then you're in the poorhouse.
We have about a minute left here. Any other numbers that really stick out this week? Like you made Ohio a favorite last week against West Virginia. They got the job done there, catching 3.5.
Yeah, nice. I had one winner, and that was it. I'm against Oklahoma.
Oh.
I took the big number with Temple.
Yeah, Temple, yep.
It's an ugly road trip. Can you imagine Oklahoma going to Philadelphia or Jersey, whatever the hell that school is, somewhere around there? And it's a big number. I know they got a big monster next week, right? Auburn or something. So they got a big game next week, coming off some games, and now they got to travel Temple, who's playing good. Look, Temple had 2 games. I'm sorry, is it Temple or Rutgers?
No, they're playing. It's Oklahoma Temple. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Look, it's a big number. It's a sandwich spot. I took the points.
Okay.
Good explanation. I'm with you on that.
Well, when you got 120 games to look at, you can't. What are you going to do?
By the way, I know you're lying about Ohio being your only winner because I saw you last week. You couldn't come on the air. You had like 3 winners that were never a sweat.
Yeah, well, the games that really buried me last week were those extra games.
Okay.
I got buried in the middle games. The FCS was fantastic. I had some great plays in the FCS.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
All right, man.
Richie Bacchillieri, win some, lose some, coming up next.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Great to have it back. Monday Night Football. First touchdown, Caleb Williams, 20-1. At most spots, there was a 30-1 out there. Anytime touchdown, plus 450. McCarthy, anytime, plus 550. And if you played the same game parlay, both quarterbacks rushing touchdown, 44-1. Who had it?
And people did, because I saw it on Twitter.
Right.
By the way, Ryan Kramer, Sports Gambling Podcast, every Friday night here on VSiN. He tweets out his first touchdown bets every single primetime game. Whammo, right in your eye last night with Caleb Williams.
He had it, okay.
He's good at that, man, yeah.
That was good. The first defensive or special teams touchdown of the season, plus 280. Bad McCarthy.
That was a terrible throw.
Yep. Can you believe that's the first one of the season? We're going to have a lot of kickoffs, though.
Did I see this correctly? If that didn't happen last night, it would have been the first time, I think, in history with a slate of at least 14 games where you didn't have at least one special teams or defensive touchdown.
Wow. Interesting. We had the most kickoff returns in 15 years of a week one as well. Vikings in play 7-1. Jefferson touchdown and the Vikings win plus 255. Most runs last night. Nationals 20-1. Highest scoring game. Nats Marlins 15-1. Will someone score 22 runs in a game plus? 22 plus runs in a game combined 6-1.
It happened again?
20 plus runs plus 340. Yeah. 15-8. What was it? 15-8 Nats.
Yeah.
Crazy. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. You see, they drop the water, the phone in the water here, and the dog goes right down and gets it all the way down. Incredible. They're on a kayak. The phone came out. Look at him. All the way. I got it. No problem. Don't worry about it. I'll make the phone call for you if you can. Here he comes.
Goodness.
Here he comes. I got it. That's incredible. Golden Retriever? Lab?
Oh, man.
Can you
incredible.
believe that? Yes, and he just swims calm, cool, and collected. I just bring it right back to you. No problem. Drop the phone in the water. I got it. Don't worry. Picks it up, swims it up, right back up to shore. The whole thing. So smart. Incredible. How about my guy Jordan? You know, he had to go in. He's got the skin issue, and he had to go to the dermatologist, whatever. So they took a patch of skin from his paw, right?
Okay.
So he had to bandage him up so he doesn't lick it and everything. So I took him to daycare, and she goes, wow, you got a boo-boo. You got an owie. What happened? He holds his paw. Like, yeah,
Here it is.
Here it is, yeah. Just holds it up. God, they're so smart. Incredible. And I remember we always talked about this with the Huskies. Here's the dog here, opening the door by himself, going on the ice rink. He's barking. Hey, I got it. No problem. Get it. Open up the door, go right on the ice. He's looking around. Where's my puck? You gonna throw a puck at me?
I'm surprised he didn't put like doggy skates on himself.
Yeah, he could have. All right, here we go. They throw the puck down the other end of the ice at the rink. He goes, gets it.
Careful,
picks
big
it
guy.
up. Yeah, right. No problem. Look at that. He's got it.
Oh,
one slipped there a little bit, but he had the puck. That's excellent. You don't see that one every day. That's beautiful. I got to put that up. Send those both in, Luke. I'll put those on Instagram. Bad beats again. Can you believe this? For the second time in 3 nights, the Dodgers were 3 outs away from a no-hitter. Now, not a lot of people that know about it because the Rockies actually scored a run.
Right.
But it's 3-1. Glasnow was great. It's 3-1 in the 9th, and here they are 3 outs away from another no-hitter, which we haven't had one, right, this whole year?
I don't think we've had one, no.
And then the Guardians were 6 outs away earlier in the night. So, like, Yamamoto 1 out away, and they blow the game. Here they're 3 outs away. Can't get it, but they win the game, and a game they had to have. Like, minus 270 to win the division. They're a game up. Before the line moves, Sharp Play's already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. Jeff and the crew do a great job, and we love them. They've been with Follow the Money since day one. The Mr. Poison t-shirts, he's a great guest on air. All his stories, and he is connected. Trusted insider sources. Get those free betting reports, real-time alerts, market moving insights, send straight to your inbox or X-Feed. And the crew at the Sharp Plays knows all tickets cash the same. They're big into tennis and soccer. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit sharpplays.com and stay ahead of the line. Sharp Plays.
I'll give you one. Have you looked recently at the WNBA MVP market?
Oh, I have not. This is like the second to last night here.
You want, okay.
Take
a wild guess, and I'll tell you, it's down to 2.
Well, no, yeah.
Because Alyssa Thomas can't win it.
No, it's Asia or Collier.
Yeah, because Thomas has had an unbelievable season again, but she's not going to win it.
Well, what Asia Wilson's doing, and they won 15 in a row, whatever.
Right. Every game except the first game in August, right?
They won 18 tonight against the Sky.
So think about this. Before that winning streak, and I don't even know when it turned, but she was higher than 100 to 1, or maybe even off the board at some spots.
Yeah, right.
Right now at the Westgate down the street, Asia Wilson is minus 350.
No!
Yeah, Nafisa Collier is plus 275.
Why?
Yeah, well, because of the winning streak and how...
Yeah, but Collier got up to like $2 last week, I asked you.
I think just probably missed too many games.
Asia Wilson is minus 350?
At the Westgate, yeah. Yep. Minus 350 now, and she was 100 to 1 last month. And maybe, like I said, I don't even know if books posted her because they were dead and buried. And now they have, the second or the third best record in the entire league because of this winning streak? And every game is like 31 and 14 for her.
It is. I know. What's her prop tonight? Let me look. You want her over? They're going to bury the Sky.
Oh, yeah. They're favored by, 17 or 18?
Yeah. What is she? Uno momento. Come on. Well, where is she? Not even up. What's going on? Shenanigans here. Come on, Johnny Avello. Put down the cheesecake. I don't have it up on DraftKings.
I'll give you another one too. Like, what were the Aces at the lowest point of the season to win the title?
Oh, it was bad. They're getting blown out. Terrible start.
Well, you brought this up. Was it late last week? They lost to the Lynx by 50.
Yeah, at home. Yeah. It was a record.
Right.
Yeah, that started the winning streak.
Right. Right after that.
Yeah. And then I do, for what it's worth. I like a Seattle Phoenix moneyline parlay tonight. There's one playoff spot left. The Sparks need to win, and Seattle has to lose. And then the Sparks have to win Thursday to make the playoffs. This is the final game for Seattle. Seattle's laying 7 against Golden State. Golden State's already in. She's got to be coach of the year.
Oh, it has to be.
An expansion team is a 6 seed.
Right.
But the Sparks are really up against it. They're 7-point dogs in Phoenix. Okay, here we go, baby. Can McCarthy win comeback player of the year?
Don't even.
You don't even want to go there. I'm fine. I'm fine if you don't want to even go there. But we're already doing this already.
He's
now.
on the betting board, I think, at the books that are offering that award.
Danny Dimes is not eligible, though, right? Because you can't say, hey, I stunk. Well, I didn't get
right, because that's the reason why
Sam Darnold didn't win.
Right. But again, like McCarthy hasn't played. Last night was the first action of his career.
What's he coming? Okay, he was hurt, but he never played a game.
Right. So how is he comeback player of the year?
They're both out.
I would think that he can't win, but if he's on the betting board and voters are going to give it to him, then who am I to say?
No, but they put up Sam too, and Sam didn't get any love.
So is he worth a bet though?
No. Both guys are not worth a bet. We've established this, especially with Danny Dimes.
I got to tell you, I hate the award.
Yeah, because of what
they did. I can't stand the award. Well, yeah, right. Because it's so
fair.
Right. I mean, the fine print isn't exactly detailed enough for me. Can he win the MVP? Damn right.
You got to calm down.
I'm not going to go that far.
You got to calm down.
I wish he was actually listed as a rookie, though. Because that would have been the guy I would have bet months ago to win Rookie of the Year. He is set up so well. I can't, again, this is not an overreaction. It's based on what we've seen the last couple of years. And I'll say this because of how young the guy is. I would take Kevin O'Connell over every single head coach in the league. Yeah, he's the reigning coach of the year. But if you told me, well, Mitch, that's stupid because Andy Reid has won so many Super Bowls or yada, yada, yada. Okay, but Andy Reid is, double his age? So when you factor everything in, give me KOC over every other coach in the NFL. And I love watching them play because he's almost prepared for everything the way it appears. And it doesn't matter. He's winning games with Dobbs and making him look good. And last year, Darnold, again, it was only one game, but Darnold, and by the way, Sam Darnold actually had a pretty high grade at PFF for his game against the 49ers. But he's never going to put up that kind of a season ever again that he had last year. And then Flores, once he got cooking last night, they have so many guys defensively that can get you on the defensive line.
All right, go win a playoff game. Do something. Yeah, I'm from that state. Enough with the pain and misery.
Well, you would agree, though, that
he's a good coach, no doubt. But
sure, but the division is down to 2 teams already, right?
No. I want to see what the Bears-Lions looks like. Both sides. But, I mean, imagine the Bears win that game. This doesn't look good for Dan Campbell. That was atrocious.
It was really bad.
Not only that, but the dink and dunk, no time to throw, the offensive line issues. But that's such a bad loss last night. Reichert hits from 59. You miss from 50. You have a Field goal in your back pocket. Nope, we're going for it. 4th and 3 comes back to bite you, and then you make the stupid PI call that leads to 3 points. You lose by 3 points.
Well, here's the thing. You said it was domination early. I would say from the Bears' defensive side, it was total domination.
Yeah.
But, Paul, they win that game last night and cover, more importantly for a lot of people, if the offense could have done anything. Like after that first drive. If they showed up, if Williams was good at all, they would have won the game. Up next, numbers that stick out to us with 1 week of the NFL in the books. Remember when this guy slipped in the draft? Well, he's already down to 15-1 to win an award. Find out which player next.